When I proposed to Emily, I thought I was the luckiest man alive. She was beautiful, charming, and had this way of lighting up every room she walked into. I had built a successful business from scratch, and with that success came assets, property, investments, and savings. I never thought much about protecting them until my best friend, a lawyer, pulled me aside one evening. "Listen, man," he said, lowering his voice as if sharing state secrets, "you love Emily, I get it. But you've worked too hard for what you have. Get a prenup. Not because you don't trust her, but because life happens." At first, I resisted. Asking for a prenup felt cold, almost like saying I didn't trust Emily. But after weeks of sleepless nights, I realized it was the responsible thing to do. So I hired a lawyer and drafted one. When I finally presented it to Emily, I expected a serious conversation. Instead, she laughed. "Are you kidding me?" she said, tossing the papers onto the coffee table. "This prenup is an insult." Her laughter stung, but her next words cut deeper. "If you really loved me, you'd sign it right now, without your lawyer hovering in the background. Otherwise, what are we even doing here?" I was stunned. "Wait, you want me to sign my own prenup without legal advice? That doesn't make sense." She crossed her arms and smirked. "It's simple. Either you trust me enough to sign it without dragging your lawyer into this, or we don't get married. Period." For the first time, I saw a side of Emily I had never noticed before, cold, calculating, almost threatening. That night, I couldn't sleep. My gut told me something was off. Why was she so adamant about me not involving my lawyer? After all, a prenup is supposed to protect both parties. If she truly loved me, wouldn't she want everything to be fair and transparent? The next day, I called my lawyer. "I think Emily is hiding something," I said. "Then let's find out," he replied. Together, we went through the prenup carefully. What I discovered made my blood run cold. Hidden deep in the clauses were lines that basically gave Emily rights to half my assets immediately upon marriage, something I never agreed to. My lawyer shook his head. "This wasn't written by a professional on your side," he said. "Looks like she had someone draft it to her advantage and tried to trick you into signing without review." I felt sick. Was this the woman I was about to marry? I decided to test her. The following weekend, I casually mentioned over dinner, "I've been thinking, maybe you're right. Lawyers complicate things. Maybe I should just sign." Her eyes lit up with excitement, far too quickly. "Really? That's the smartest thing you've ever said," she said with a grin. But then, unable to contain myself, I asked, out of curiosity, "Where did this version of the prenup come from?" "My lawyer said it doesn't look like the draft he worked on." Her fork froze midair. She blinked rapidly before forcing a smile. I don't know. Maybe some clerical mistake." That was the moment I knew. She was lying. The wedding was 3 months away, but my heart was already cracking. I couldn't let on that I knew the truth, not yet. Instead, I played along, pretending to waver while secretly preparing. My lawyer and I redrafted the prenup, this time airtight and fair, protecting both of us. 2 weeks later, I handed Emily the new document. "This is the final version," I said calmly. "We'll both sign with lawyers present." Her face twisted in anger. "No. I told you already, sign without a lawyer, or I'm gone." Her words echoed in my head long after she stormed out of the apartment. But as much as it hurt, I realized something critical: this wasn't about love for her. This was about control. Later that night, I received a message from one of Emily's close friends, Sarah. We had never spoken privately before, so I was surprised. "Hey, I don't know if I should be telling you this, but you need to know the truth about Emily." My heart pounded as I typed back, "What truth?" What Sarah revealed next would shake everything I thought I knew about my fiancé. Sarah's next message hit me like a truck. "Emily has been planning this for months. She bragged to us that once you signed the prenup without your lawyer, she'd have everything she needed. She even said she wouldn't stay married more than a year. My stomach turned. I stared at the screen, reading the words over and over, hoping they weren't real. But Sarah sent screenshots, messages from Emily in a private group chat. Emily had written, "Once he signs, it's game over. 1 year and I'll walk away with half. Easy money." I felt my chest tighten, anger boiling with heartbreak. The woman I was ready to spend forever with wasn't planning a marriage, she was planning a heist. The next day, I confronted Emily. "I know about the prenup trick," I said, my voice steady but cold. "And I know what you've been telling your friends." For a split second, panic flashed across her face. Then, just as quickly, she composed herself, smirking like she always did. "Who told you that?" "Sarah? She's jealous, always has been. Don't believe her lies." I slammed the screenshots down on the table. "These don't look like lies." Emily's mask slipped. Her smirk vanished, replaced by anger. "Fine. So what if I said that? Do you know how hard it is for women to secure their future? You're rich, I'm not. Maybe I just wanted some balance." "Balance?" I said, my voice shaking. "That's not balance. That's betrayal." She didn't apologize. Instead, she stood up, arms crossed, and delivered her ultimatum one last time. "Either you sign the prenup without your lawyer, or this wedding is off. Your choice." For the first time, I didn't hesitate. "Then the wedding is off." The days that followed were brutal. Emily bombarded me with texts, voicemails, even showed up at my office crying, begging me to reconsider. She said she loved me, that it was all a joke, that her friends twisted her words. But the evidence was there, clear as day. Still, I wasn't satisfied with just calling off the wedding. I wanted the truth to come out, not just for me, but for everyone who thought Emily was some perfect angel. So, I planned a little reveal of my own. The night we were supposed to have our joint engagement party, I kept the event on the calendar. Friends, family, and even some of Emily's closest girlfriends gathered in the elegant hall I had rented. Emily showed up dressed like a bride, glowing and confident, as if nothing had happened. She strutted around the room, hugging relatives, playing the part of the doting fiancée. I let her enjoy herself for a while, then took the microphone. "Thank you all for coming," I said. "Tonight was meant to celebrate our future. But instead, I need to share the truth about the woman I thought I knew." Emily's smile faltered. "What are you doing?" she hissed. Ignoring her, I projected the screenshots Sarah had given me onto the big screen. Gasps rippled through the crowd as Emily's own words appeared in giant letters. "Once he signs, it's game over. 1 year and I'll walk away with half. Easy money." The room fell silent. Emily's face went pale. She tried to laugh it off, but no one was buying it. Her parents looked horrified, her friends stared at the floor, and my family pulled me into tight embraces. Emily stormed out of the hall, humiliated. That was the last time I ever saw her. Weeks later, I heard she tried spinning the story, telling people I had set her up and overreacted. But the damage was done. No one trusted her anymore. Sarah and I stayed in touch after that. Funny enough, the woman who warned me ended up becoming a close friend. Eventually, more than a friend. But that's another story. Looking back, I realized something important: love without trust is nothing. Emily laughed when I asked for protection, mocked me when I stood up for myself, and tried to trick me into signing away everything I worked for. I walked away with my dignity, my assets, and, thanks to Sarah, the truth. And honestly, that was worth more than any wedding ring.